Hey Taurus, welcome to March. How you feeling? I know Mars is in your sign. I know that may have taken some getting used to. Maybe still getting used to it. If you're new here, I'm Tamil. I'm the founder of Overflow, and every month I channel guidance for the Overflow community at large, which is you. And then we go deeper inside the sanctuary, which is our private membership space for communion with self and soul family. You can get on the wait list to join that space. We'll be opening enrollment around the equinox, so get in there. A lot of exciting things. Beyond the messages for all signs, we also have movement once a month with our resident wellness coach, and we also have a reading circle, which is led and facilitated by community members. Okay. Your strength for the month is shadow. So I think this Mars and Taurus energy is actually making you friends with your shadow aspects, which we love to see. And then your challenge is movement. And bottom of the deck is compassion. So number one, self-compassion. And part of that self-compassion is going to be taking care of your body. I literally just talked about movement in the sanctuary. So if you're already a part of the sanctuary, March 14th is our movement class. But really, anything you can do to move energy in your body, somatics, yoga practice, a walk, a stretch, or whatever, because there's a lot of tension I'm sensing that's kind of like stuck with all of this extra energy. And also like the shadow, it seems like it's like rising up, but you have not fully embraced it for fear that things will get ugly or it won't be cute or whatever. That it'll overtake you, that it will knock you off your game, that you won't be able to focus. So you can do this shadow work in a really contained way, having like safe time and like specific time to process some things. But I'm also feeling like this is you letting it peek out in little interactions after you've befriended it, right? So like if you are having like bouts of like rage and anger, but the reason why is because that rage and anger is teaching you that you haven't properly set boundaries. The next time you're engaging, you don't have to like put on a nice face and then be mad later. You can be in that moment and say, hey, I don't really have the space to like hash all of this out right now, but I'm trying to do better about protecting my time and my energy. And so I need you to honor this, this, and this, or this actually isn't something that I'm comfortable with. Let me get back to you, whatever. And so that's not you lashing out. It's just you honoring what you already know has been there and been present, okay? So let's look at the shadow. Or just shadow. This is the Shadow Edition. The deck that we're using is the Threads of Fate Shadow Edition. There's movement, so let me bookmark that. It's probably like the first card or something, and I'm going all the way around. At least it's with you, Taurus. You can be patient with me. It's the first time I'm actually pulling this deck, so I can't even like based on recall. There we go. Find it. So And the fact that it was like hiding like that is more evidence of what I said. So this card indicates that diving deeper into your shadow at this time will be beneficial. It is through knowing our unconscious self that we find the root of our blocks, perceived limitations, and wounds. It is also how we come to know ourselves in our totality. We cannot reach our true potential without meeting our shadow and working with the parts of ourselves that we have been told to lock away or be ashamed of. This includes brilliant aspects of ourselves too, not just perceived flaws. The truth is, your shadow is our greatest gift. And I am going to read the animal medicine. There's three. It's always animal, plant, and crystal. The animal medicine is bat. This brilliant bat that we see pictured here. Bats are experts at moving through the dark using echolocation. They are unable to see what their surroundings are, but by producing high frequency sounds and listening for the echo of the objects close by, they are able to get an incredibly accurate idea of their environment. This is much like doing shadow work. We often do not understand the logic of our subconscious, but we can feel it. It can be uncomfortable, like we do not have our senses, but if we trust the process, the way the bat trusts its echolocation, our shadow work comes alive in unexpected and magical ways. So you're not going to be consumed. Like I said, you're just going to activate other parts of your sensory perception, of your intuition. If you are struggling with things you cannot see in its entirety, call upon bat as an ally. So let's get into movement, which is your challenge. Physical movement can quick start major shifts in our internal and external worlds. While this movement can take any form, keep in mind that the type of movement we do can invite the emotions and experiences associated with it. Intense and vigorous movement can help us access our motivation, power, and fire. Slow and methodical movements can help us tap into our deeper feelings and is especially helpful in releasing, healing, and deeper work. When we move our body, we are allowing any stuck or stagnant energies within us to flow, bringing space for the new. What type of movement do you need, and how can you incorporate it into your day more? I love it. So that is your challenge. Maybe you have a movement practice that you kind of like fallen off on. If that's the case, there's no judgment ever. If you don't have a movement practice, Spirit is just like, hey, this is a new way that I'm calling you to tend to your body. You don't have to do something that you know is not going to be sustainable, but you need to start incorporating something. If you need like some encouragement or even some guidance in a way that you can approach it in like a holistic form, you can listen to the episode of our podcast with our resident wellness coach, Ashley Nelson, where we talk about body care as like spiritual practice. So yeah, love y'all. Let's get into the reading.